بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And any message of haqq will drive people out of their. Any message of truth will drive people out of their comfort zone. And people wouldn't want to be driven away out of their comfort zone. For those who have studied philosophy, there is the metaphor of the cave of Plato, which is a very beautiful story, which is actually the story of the Risala. And there's these people who are living inside the cave, and they would only see, and they were like, because they were chained, and they would only see the shades, the shadows of objects. So people will be walking, etc. But because they cannot turn their necks, they were so conditioned to not turn their necks, even when they are set free. So these people, they had chains, and from time to time, the chains will be taken away from them. They were given opportunities if they want to go out, if they want to move their necks and see, but they wouldn't dare to do it. So they got so conditioned to only expect things the way they grew up with, etc. Subhanallah, they got so conditioned, and they accepted it. They accepted life as like that. They accepted life without light. Subhanallah. They accepted life without light. They accepted the image. They accepted to live in the image, in the illusion, in the projection that they have of the reality. Because we don't see the reality as such. We see the projection. And it comes through the filter of our culture, of our paradigms, of our false paradigms, conditioned. So for example, if the only way I see myself learning is to be in a classroom and taking notes. Were the Sahaba in classrooms and taking notes? Had any of the prophets teach in an institute? Any of them? 124,000. Can promise you, none of them. None of them. None of them started something called institute, and with a diploma, and with a PhD, or with master degree, or with a bachelor degree. It was all about companionship. Yet you come to people today, you tell you, I want to learn my deen. Okay, Bismillah, come. Marhaba. And they start. They were waiting for the class to state. And you are washing the dishes, you are cleaning the washroom, you are driving the car. They see you going in all directions, etc., and working in the field of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and combating, etc. And they are just waiting for the classroom to come, just to start taking notes. And then just put them there in the fridge. Allahu Akbar. Thinking that that's where the learning will start. La ilaha illallah. Is this the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is an image. University and institutions are images that we became so conditioned to. And that's not actually the way. Free people, they actually... And by the way, people who learn in cages, they will never become inheritors. And even when free scholars and free people of God, they started institutes, etc., they have two levels. They will have companions who embrace the whole legacy, and they will become the inheritors. And these companions, you find them, yes, you'll find them in the classrooms, but you will find them servants more than anything else. And they share their wisdom with everyone else. But those who learn through diplomas and through tables and chairs and taking notes and all of that, they will never become inheritors. They take some information, at best, and they will be able to share that information at best. Not knowledge. Never. Knowledge is a tree, is a tree of life, is a living tree that has to be planted in a heart full of yearning and concern for humanity. Otherwise, it's not knowledge. Marhaba. Otherwise, it cannot be knowledge. It's not, you have to be pushed away of your comfort zone to become an inheritor of the legacy of prophets. You have to walk in their path. So for example, if people are so conditioned, they have that, khalas, that's the image. That's the only way I could see myself learning. I have to be sitting one leg on top of the other, okay? And the only way I could actually revise, I used to be that one at some point, and I just conditioned myself. I can only start studying when I light my cigarette. And seriously, I was never a smoker, but just somehow that image came in my mind. I thought that the only way I could write poetry is when I light my cigarette. And then I will light it and maybe I will take a few things. And I was never a smoker. It never tastes good for me. I like the smell, but it never tastes good. So I start writing. Until I discovered myself, oh, actually I can write without it. Some people, they think they can only write when they are drunk, or they can only write when they are conditioned. And some people, they think that they can only be connected to God when they are fasting. Some people, they think that they can only connect to God when they are in prostration. That's also an illusion and an image. You can connect to God in all your states. You can be connected to God, you can address God, you can talk to God in all your states. Don't become conditioned with the image. The image has its place as a sharia, but it's not true. Some people, they get conditioned. Oh, I can only pray when I have my wudu. That's not true. That's why our sharia, the sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is really challenging and pushing us out of our comfort zone. You know, some people, in the beginning, the wudu is challenging. In the beginning, the wudu is challenging. Then tells you, no, you have to make wudu, and you have to rub, and you have to make... When you get used to wash your feet in a sink, washing your feet in the sink will become your comfort zone. And now you find yourself in a public place. And you know that there is a rukhsa. You know it. Clearly. Ahmad bin Hanbal told you that you could, if you have to, wipe on your socks. And he said socks, right? Said there is no difference, thickness or not thickness, there is no difference. And you find yourself and people are watching you. And this sister, no, I can't. Why? There is a rukhsa there. The rukhsa will push you out of your comfort zone. You see? And after that, he tells you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but don't get too comfortable in that rukhsa, subhanallah. It's just a rukhsa. When you are in the masjid, you can wash your feet. Go and wash your feet. See people wiping on their socks at home. Seriously, why not? Just give your feet some of water from time to time. Let it. Rukhsa has its place, but push yourself. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. In the beginning, fasting Monday and Thursday, it's burning sun. Now you got used. For 3 years, I'm fasting Monday and Thursday, and you find yourself, we need you with your energy today. No, I can't. It became a comfort zone. And we see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his people was pushing them away of their comfort zone. If they get used to, Imam al-Busayri, he made it in one verse. He said, وَخْشَ الدَّسَائِسَ مِنْ شُوعًا وَمِنْ شِبَعًا فَرْبَ مَخْمَصَةٍ شَرٌّ مِنَ التُّخَمِ. Be careful from dasa'is, from illusions. Eating much or eating less. It's an image. That's an image of piety, and that's an image of happiness or whatever. It's an image. And you never know, he's telling you. Maybe the zuhud and an image of piety is more dangerous than an image of that is not associated necessarily with piety. You get acquainted, you get so conditioned, and you start thinking, and you become arrogant in that way. When you, subhanallah. You should not, and actually read in Surah Al-Talaq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And the one who seeks God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him a way out or an opening, and He will give him provision from where? From where he least expects it. Or from where he doesn't expect it. من حيث لا يحتسب. The problem, and clearly, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives all of us, even those who do not seek God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us every day, provides for us. من حيث نحتسب من حيث لا نحتسب. From where we expect and from where we do not expect. But those who are seeking God, they are not oblivious, and they see the provision. They see the provision when it comes to them. They see the teaching when it comes to them in a way that they were not expecting. They see the provision when it comes to them in a way that they were not expecting. They see the help and the assistance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to them in a way that they were not expecting or wishing for. These are the people who are seeking God because they have focus. Yattaqillah means, and those who have their focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means what? It means who are not focusing on their egos. Those who are outside of their box. Those who are outside of their comfort zone. Those who are looking, their focus is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're not in their bubble. It's not about them, about me. They are set in their journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They see it's about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These people and only these people will see the way out. So the way we understand that verse, and those who seek God and those who have their focus on God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them an exit to the world of haqa'iq, to the world of realities, from the world of shadows. So they won't be kept in the world of shadows. You remember the cave? They won't be kept in the world of shadows. They will have a way out. يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا from that cave. They will have a way out to the world of realities, and they will see the provisions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from elsewhere than the image that they were conditioned to. Happiness is a provision for everyone, yet some people only accept it from the way they got conditioned to. If I don't get this and this and this and this, I'm not loved. If you don't smile to me, you don't love me. If you don't hug me, you don't love me. If you don't give me a gift, you don't love me, etc. Just today, subhanallah, and an agnostic, let me say, spiritual. SubhanAllah, today in the Café Floraison, we got 7 visits. None of them was a Muslim, but 7 special people, really special people. People were attracted. They just saw the lotus, they just saw the decor, they felt driven, and we were closed, we were not even open. And just they knocked, we opened for them, and they came, and we had very beautiful discussions. These 2 sisters, one of them they are agnostic, searching for the truth, meditation, vegan, etc. These people, alhamdulillah, they're happening, looking for the truth. And one of them, she told me that our mother is angry with us, and that's why our mother is punishing us. She was interpreting what's happening in California and in Bali and these volcanoes, etc., that our mother Earth is unhappy, and because she loves us, that's what she said. Because she loves us too much, our mother is punishing us. Because when a mother loves her child, she wouldn't be happy that her child will continue misbehaving. So that's out of love. Sometimes out of love you have to Discipline your children. I said, wow, beautiful. It's a beautiful way to look at things, but subhanAllah. Indeed. We'd rather say it about God. But subhanAllah. You know, we get conditioned today, and especially in the civilization, the civilization of today, it is a world of images. We got really conditioned to this. I expect the teacher to come in that shape. It has to be white beard, smelling oud, beautiful turban, or a red fez. I don't expect the teacher to come with his tattoos, for example, or with his dropping pants or something like that. Some brothers, they wanted to push people away from their comfort zone. They started teaching in that way. Maybe. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them reward for their intentions. It's better to follow the Sharia though. But even in the Sharia, even in the frame of the Sharia, you could push people away from the comfort zone. Ala kulli hal, you should never become conditioned to the image. It's not about you, it's not about your calculation. Be permeable to the beauty, and let the beauty come to you from the door. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to come to you. Be permeable to truth, and let the truth come to you. Let the truth come to you, and listen to the truth when it is spoken. It may come to you from here or there. We saw about Sayyidina Yusuf. When these people who were polytheists came to him, he was very permeable. And he understood things, and he learned from them. And not tell them, no, you are polytheists, I'm not going to get anything. I'm not ready to learn anything from you. Let us be open and to the truth, and not condition it. Not put ourselves in cages of expectation, our own limits and limited expectations, because we limit ourselves like that. And how many of those who miss the happiness that came right at their door because it did not come clothed in the way they were expecting it to be. And we see, it did not come in that package. All their life they are waiting for that. And we read these stories even in Russian literature, and universal. It's a universal literature. It's talking about this. Plato is talking about this. It is a universal thing. Because when you start thinking, you see that actually the majority of things that led you to happiness, they came from a way you were not expecting. Even for your jobs. I know that that's the language that speaks to you the most. And okay, you put your CV here and here and here and there and here and there. You study in this field and you study in that field. And finally, how many people who are actually working and and winning their bread from the field that they actually have studied for? How many of those who actually became what they were expecting to become? I would tell you, statistically speaking, 95% of people, of human beings in the work field are doing something that they are earning their bread from somewhere they were never. It never occurred to their mind. It never occurred to their mind. It never occurred to their mind that they will be doing that job. They imagine themselves here, and then when they placed their CVs, the response came from somewhere they were never expecting. All of this to tell us that we should not be conditioned to the images. And that's the whole Ba'athah is about that. The whole Ba'athah is about that. So, to be pushed away from the image to the reality, it is something demanding. It is easy though. It only tells you to just move your head around and see the light behind you. And we know in this very beautiful story of Plato, actually, it's a very, very beautiful story. It has to be taught to children. It's very, very beautiful story. And the story or the myth of the cave, or the story of the cave, it is the foundational myth of any message, of any truthful message. So people are conditioned to the image, and they see them, and khalas, they got contented, and it grew on them. We're saying that misery will grow on you. We spoke about the hal of the people in the Jahiliyyah. So their misery grew in them. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from above the cave, and he, subhanallah, when he got out of that cave, and he saw, and he sees how people are so, so conditioned and so happy in their misery, if I may use this paradox. They are so contented in their misery. And subhanallah, what's going to get these people out? أَنَّ يُحْيِي هَذِهِ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا. Another prophet said the same thing. He said, Ya Allah, مَرَّ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَى عُرُوشِهَا. He went and he saw a village empty. It means what, empty? Not empty that there wasn't any physical human being on it after an earthquake. No. It was empty. He had many discussions, like universities today. You go, seriously, wallahi, seriously. You go to many places and just have discussions in classrooms and say, Ya Allah, wow. It is this dead. People are this ignorant. It's this dead. Where is someone who was searching for some, at least be a hippie, be something, be addicted to drugs. Really, seriously. Be free in a way or another. But really, like هكذا in a box, going in a suit, and especially in Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge or these places, seriously, you get people are so conditioned to the image of success, to the image of things, etc. And subhanAllah, finally you find someone who at least is seeking to be free in the image. At least. But he's not even too seeking. But he has an image of the freedom that he got conditioned to, and he thinks that freedom can only come in that costume as well. You can only become free when you have tattoos. You can only become free when you start smoking marijuana. Or you can only become free when you become transsexual or something like that. It's an image also. But ajib, people, they get so conditioned with images. Khalas, it's that image. We have images. We place everything in boxes, even freedom today. We put freedom in a package, in a box. That's what it means to be free. What it means to be free when I was. So in Tunisia, 1997, November 1997 in Tunisia. No, it wasn't November, it was September. September 1997, I find myself in university. And the image, what it means to be free in that university, it meant to be atheist, number one, smoking, number two, having a girlfriend, number three. Homosexuality was not a trend yet. Okay, now in that same university, there is a higher level and homosexual. Seriously, in the same university I studied in. You have to be. And it is an image to the freedom, and so that's how you have to be. That's how people would expect you to be a free man. You see? And that's how people would expect themselves to be. So subhanallah, I remember when I got caught fasting. So one of the professors who used to respect me a lot and who never respected me after that day. Khalas, really, khalas. Even though we had very important conversations and he used to be, wow, you have a potential, huh?
You do it in public?
Sorry?
You were fasting in public?
No, fast in private, in Ramadan. It was Ramadan. But in public, I was in the cafeteria.
And you didn't eat?
Huh?
And you didn't eat?
I had to. So I did not eat. And then he told me, oh, you still have the problem of Ramadan. So you are still there. You did not free yourself yet from that culture, because that's how they see it, and I understand. They have their shemin more, right? It's a journey, and I respect that very well. They have the way they look at it, because they don't see it as they see it as a cultural paradigm, because they see that religion. They see religion as it was lived by people. The way the majority of people are not living religion as religion, as something that connects them back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were living religion as a taboo. taboos, set of taboos. Just they are fasting because it is a taboo to not fast. You understand? The majority of people who are fasting, they are fasting because it is a taboo to not fast. And in the cheminement away of Islam in Tunisia, it was like taboos one after the other. So the first taboo that was abolished, or that was overcome. Yeah, the first taboo that was overcome was the taboo of the before the hijab, the suit. The suit first. They started wearing pants first because it was a aib to wear pants. To wear a suit, I'm not talking about your stretch pants. I'm talking about my pants, okay, and the suit that hides, that goes, and the vest that goes to right above your knees. I'm talking about that was a taboo. So people, they weren't there jubba, okay, or their kadroon, or their jubba, or their jalab. Absolutely, it was a taboo to appear in public in that. So they started in the beginning appearing in public like that, and with a beard, and with a turbush al-majidi, with the, you know what, that conic Freemason thing with the. It's a Freemason. It was designed by the Freemason. It was not an Ottoman thing. Yeah, absolutely. That's how. That costume was designed by the Freemason. This is not a conspiracy theory. No, absolutely. And Sultan Abdul Majid was the first one who started that. And after that, Sultan Abdul Aziz made it the official Ottoman thing. And it's go and read the history. And so the first taboo that was overcome was the Western appearance. Khalas, now. And after that, the beard fell off. After that, uncovering the head. Now we go to women. The first taboo, showing the face. After that, showing the hair. After that, showing the legs. وهكذا. You see, it's a journey. Actually, earlier even than that, the first taboo that was overcome was to not pray in the masjid, to drink, to smoke, to have sexual relationships outside of marriage, to وهكذا in the world of man. But subhanallah, ajib, it's something ajib. Until today, the taboo of Ramadan is still it is still established.
In Iran, they've overcome it.
In Turkey, it's overcome.
You understand? So to understand, so for these people who study sociology, that's the way they look at the religion from outside. They look at religion as a cultural phenomenon.
The Darwin theory.
Absolutely, it has it's true. You understand? If you look at the way the majority of people are living religion, or subjected to religion, they're just subjected to a culture, to a set of behavior, and that's why they are following it. It's not a path leading to God. It's not a path of freedom. It's not a path it's not a journey. So it is just a set of paradigms, or it is a culture that is a comfort zone. A religion was never meant to be a comfort zone. A religion was never meant to be a comfort zone. Never. A religion is always meant to be a battlefield. وَالْجِهَادُ ذُرْوَةُ سَنَامِهِ. Al-jihad ذُرْوَةُ السَّنَامِ. Jihad is the peak of the religion. The religion is meant to be always a battlefield, continuously. A land of struggle, a land of combat. Inside, first of all, and outside. It should never become a comfort zone. And that's why prophets, they came to push people away from their comfort zone. And that's the da'wah. And that's why prophets, they were resisted. And they knew that they are going to be rejected, because pushing people away of their comfort zone is not easy. It's not easy. Again, going back to the story of Plato, so they were so conditioned to see these images, and that's it. And they started giving them names, and that shadow has its name, that shadow has its name, and they will have khilaf. Is that shadow the shadow of Yunus? No. That's Musa, but they look the same. No, it's Yunus. No, it's Musa. And they would fight with each other. They would kill each other over because the shadow. And they would never just look behind and say, "Oh, actually, it's Yunus." Khalas. They were not expecting to see anything, so they would see the projection of the reality that comes through, and the khalas. They were until this man, this free man, got freed, and he stepped out of the cave and he saw things, and he came to them. And he came to them and he started telling them, "Could you look behind? I'm only asking you to look behind. Don't even follow me, just look behind, you will see something." And you see and how Plato describes it very well. And he said, subhanAllah, and they looked behind like that, and they would say, no, there is nothing out there. It's actually, that's illusion. Here is true. Could look behind, there is light coming out. No, never. No, here. They are so conditioned. It takes courage, my friend. It takes courage. It takes courage. It takes courage to accept the truth. And people are so acquainted and so used and so contented with misery and with cowardice, cowardice, right? Spiritual cowardice when you just accept the illusion and you let yourself be ruled by the illusion and controlled by the illusion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. So going back, that's the meaning of khashitu ala nafsi. It's not that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so worried and he thought that a jinn came to him, or he thought that maybe he was a sihr or a source, kind of sorcery happened to him or something like that. No, we have to reject any of these theories, even though we find some of them in some books of seerah here or there. No, that's not the understanding that the ulama of Ahl-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah or the leaders of this art, in this art, or the umda, or the deans of the art of seerah and shamail, like Qadi Iyad, like Imam Qastalani, like Imam Nabhani. Every art has its people. Don't read seerah written by historians. Actually, sometimes it is better to read a seerah written by an Orientalist than written by a Muslim historian. Sometimes they just write everything. Sometimes they write everything and they will tell you, for example, and it was said that, okay, and you don't understand it. Sometimes like Asfahani or many ulama of the Sultan, and we know, for example, things about sometimes they would just dump things there just to have some money. And we have these books are still in our libraries, and because there are many volumes and with gold, and people really respect them and buy them, and they go to libraries. And why would you buy a book like that? It's a miserable thing. It's not even a good literature. It's not even a good piece of literature. Full of lies, full of false paradigms. Why would you? But they are still there in our library. We have that problem in our library. And ala kulli hal. But if you want to read the seerah or study the seerah, we have to study it and read from a book, or study it with a man who is from the people of this art. It's not something. It's not a story. The seerah is not a story. It is all the deen is in the seerah. All the deen is in the seerah, and it is an art. You understand? And before studying the seerah, you have to go through the shamail. If you find a teacher who would just tell them, teach us about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they will start teaching you the seerah before teaching you the shamail, just know that he doesn't know anything about the seerah. There is an introduction. to the seerah called the Shama'il of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have to understand what to expect from a prophet first. And then you go to the seerah. And then you go to the seerah. على كل حال, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he knew that the people would reject, would refuse, and would find it difficult. And he went to Khadija alayha salamullah, and she took him to Waraqa bin Nawfal, and Waraqa bin Nawfal confirmed what's going to happen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him after that, يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر. Again, two interpretations, and both of them are valid. One of them is more respectful or more befitting of a prophet and the way we should talk about prophets. So the first one will tell you that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was hiding, was trying to kind of escape this heavy and the weight that was coming to him, and that's the human condition, and he was trying to avoid it if he could, like اقرأ ما أنا بقارئ, اقرأ ما أنا بقارئ, give it to someone else, I'm not the one, I'm not ready for this. Sayyidah Maryam alayha salamullah, we make the parallel when she said she knew for sure that the image, etc. The man said, أن كنت تقيا إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا, just I'm here, just leave me alone. And so Sayyidina Musa alayhi salamullah, when he saw the fire, and in the beginning, when he knew finally, he came to that appointment that he was expecting at some point, and maybe he wasn't expecting in that moment, in that place, but he was a man of God already, and so he was taken aback a bit, etc. The interpretation that it is valid, it's not invalid. It is valid. Yeah, that's the human condition, that's the bashariyah of the prophet, that's the human condition of the prophet, that is pushing away the spiritual reality of the prophet, or trying to it is valid interpretation, though there is a more befitting way to speak about prophets, and it is a matter of taste here. It's not a matter of it's not a scientific thing, matter of taste. We don't say these things, and we choose to describe it in a deeper way. And even though it is true, even though it has its part of truth, and you could learn a lot from that. And yes, indeed, everyone who is sincere with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't see himself that person. And we know it even about Al-Mahdi alayhi salamullah. By the end of the time, people will force him to take the bay'ah, even though he knows that he is the one. And he will be hiding his face from people for years. And then he will be forced, no, you are the one, you have to. No, I'm not. You have to, and he will be forced to accept it. Not like many fools today, just with the first dream, or with the first whiff of illusion, not even of haqiqah, of realities, they start like claiming that they are shuyukh and giving hints to their students that they are actually the Mahdi. But don't tell anyone, I'm the Mahdi. Don't tell anyone, I'm getting you ready for something big, etc. I mean, just may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. You saw that, Sidi, you understand? We saw the people around the Shaykh would be talking, he's the special man of our time, no, something big is waiting for him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. So the true Mahdi will be hiding from that, and it has part of truth, and you learn a lot from it. But a better way, Allahu A'lam, or a more refined way to talk about these realities, or more befitting of prophethood and the maqam and the station of the spiritual station of prophets, we say that they were worried for others. They were worried for others. And they were absorbing that energy that is coming, because they understand it's a big thing. They are getting ready. It's not they are hiding from it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he went to bed really to build himself, to really to integrate, to absorb, to synthesize that light and that message, because they are not people who take things lightly. سنلقي عليك قولا ثقيلا. It's a heavy thing. They understood it as a heavy thing. And that weight, they took time, because they are not like the oblivious man. وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا, who just, yeah, I'm ready for it, I will do it. No, it's not like that. When they know that they are the people who are chosen for something and they see it coming, they really go and really meditate. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was really in the bed, and he was feeling that weight, and his body was taking time to absorb that light. And now people who understand yoga and understand these things and understand kind of the process of illumination, they will find the full explanation there, seriously. Because when the illumination comes to you, you will feel cold. And if you are a bearer of the light, you will have to allow yourself to absorb that light that comes to you, and you have to really go to in an isolated place and give yourself some time to really absorb the maximum of it, and sleeping will be not sleeping, really being under covers, etc., will be the best way. Will be the best way of doing it. Wallahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Ala kulli hal, there are many ways of seeing that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That weight was shared after that. And we saw last time that how his companions, the first companions, started getting one by one, and how the Risala started. We'll continue inshallah with this. بإذن الله السميع العليم.
شفيع الناس